You ever notice how the mob used to be simple? Cash in envelopes, payphones on street corners. A handshake meant something. Back then, if you had a problem, you buried it. Today, you got smartphones, cloud backups, GPS tracking, and some 25-year-old FBI tech kid named Kevin reading your text messages like it's a bedtime story. That's where today's sponsor comes in. Introducing MobWipe TM, the digital evidence remover. Did you send a message you shouldn't have sent? Maybe you told somebody where the money was. Maybe you mentioned a name. Maybe you typed something like, "Yeah, boss, I took care of it." Relax. With MobWipe TM, you can erase texts, photos, call logs, and those late-night voice messages where you tried to sound tough after 3 glasses of scotch. MobWipe TM wipes clean suspicious text messages, questionable transactions, incriminating selfies, and those group chats called family business. But that's not all. Upgrade to MobWipe Pro TM and you'll also get automatic alibi generator, fake GPS history, I was at my cousin's wedding mode, and our newest feature, witness protection browser cleaner. So now you can erase search history like, how long does a wiretap last? Can the FBI read encrypted messages? And everybody's favorite, best place to hide a body in New Jersey. Because let's face it, modern mob life ain't what it used to be. Back in the day, you had loyalty. Now you got screenshots. That's why today's wise guys trust MobWipe TM. Because sometimes the best defense is deleting the evidence. MobWipe TM. In the digital age, you can't whack the hard drive, but you can wipe it. Forget about it.
Mugs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
The Milwaukee Mob. Frank Balistrieri and the Hidden Mafia of Wisconsin. A Pizzaverse Studios documentary. A Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A city known for breweries, factories, and blue-collar neighborhoods along the shore of Lake Michigan. But for decades, beneath the quiet streets of Milwaukee, organized crime operated with remarkable discipline. Unlike the mafia families of New York or Chicago, Milwaukee's mob rarely made national headlines. There were no massive gang wars, no flashy bosses courting the spotlight. Instead, the Milwaukee Mafia operated quietly, efficiently, and very profitably. At the center of this hidden empire stood one of the most powerful organized crime figures in Wisconsin history, Frank Balistrieri. The early Milwaukee underworld. Organized crime in Milwaukee dates back to the early 20th century. Like many American cities, Milwaukee saw an explosion of underground activity during Prohibition in the United States. Bootleggers smuggled alcohol throughout the city. Speakeasies operated in basements and back rooms. And various criminal groups began fighting for control of the illegal liquor trade. Over time, Italian organized crime figures began consolidating power in Milwaukee. These groups eventually formed a mafia organization connected to the national structure of La Cosa Nostra. But the Milwaukee family remained relatively small compared to the massive operations in cities like Chicago. Instead, its strength came from something else: strategic alliances. The Chicago Connection. Milwaukee's Mafia family maintained close relationships with the powerful Chicago outfit. Chicago mob bosses often used Milwaukee as a secondary hub for various criminal operations. The partnership allowed Milwaukee's mob leadership to benefit from Chicago's protection and influence. At the same time, Milwaukee provided a quieter environment where organized crime could operate with less scrutiny. This relationship would become especially important during the rise of Frank Balistrieri. The rise of Frank Balistrieri. Frank Balistrieri was born in 1918 and grew up within Milwaukee's Italian-American community. By the mid-20th century, he had become deeply involved in the city's organized crime operations. Balistrieri eventually rose to become the boss of the Milwaukee crime family. Unlike many mob leaders who thrived on public attention, Balistrieri preferred to remain behind the scenes. He operated primarily through trusted associates and lieutenants. Under his leadership, the Milwaukee mob expanded its control over several lucrative rackets. These included illegal gambling operations, sports betting networks, loan sharking, nightclubs and bars. But Balistrieri's ambitions extended far beyond Milwaukee.
Chicago. A city built on steel, sweat, and guys who asked very uncomfortable questions. Back in the day, if somebody owed money, skipped out on a debt, or suddenly forgot how to speak English when the boss asked a question, well, let's just say the Chicago outfit had a system. Now you can bring a little of that legendary problem-solving power into your own home. Introducing the Chicago Outfit Truth Extraction Kit. That's right. For the low price of 3 easy payments of $19.29, because around here we respect tradition, you'll receive everything you need to turn any awkward conversation into a full confession. Inside every kit you'll find the Cicero conversation chair. Comfortable and sturdy, and positioned directly under the bright light of truth. The deluxe rubber hose. Perfect for encouraging honesty at family poker games. And of course, the Chicago Outfit Ledger Notebook. Because when somebody says they'll pay you tomorrow, you write that down. But wait, there's more. Order now and we'll include the emergency alibi generator. Just spin the wheel and instantly receive a classic Chicago excuse like, I was at church. I was with my cousin Tony. I never even heard of that guy. Or the all-time favorite. What murder? Thousands of satisfied customers are already talking. Mostly because the kit works. So the next time someone tells you, I swear, I don't know nothing, just smile, lean in close. And remember what Chicago taught us all. Everybody talks eventually. The Chicago Outfit Truth Extraction Kit. Available now. Exclusively from Pizzaverse Studios and Palermo Productions. Because sometimes you gotta solve problems. Chicago style.
The Las Vegas Connection. During the 1960s and 1970s, organized crime figures across the Midwest invested heavily in Las Vegas casinos. Through partnerships with the Chicago outfit, Milwaukee mob figures became connected to the casino industry. Money flowed from gambling operations in Wisconsin into larger organized crime ventures tied to Las Vegas. The relationship allowed Balistrieri to increase his influence within the broader Mafia network. But it also attracted the attention of federal investigators. The FBI investigation. By the 1970s, the FBI had intensified its war against organized crime across the United States. New investigative tools allowed federal agents to penetrate previously secret mafia operations. One of the most important developments was the use of hidden microphones and wiretaps. Federal agents secretly recorded conversations involving Frank Balistrieri and his associates. These recordings provided a rare glimpse into the inner workings of the Milwaukee Mafia. Investigators uncovered evidence of gambling operations, extortion schemes, and connections to larger organized crime families. Eventually, these investigations led to criminal charges against Balistrieri and several of his associates. The fall of the Milwaukee mob. Frank Balistrieri was eventually convicted on federal charges related to organized crime activities. Although the Milwaukee Mafia did not disappear overnight, federal prosecutions significantly weakened the organization. By the late 20th century, many of the traditional rackets that once supported organized crime had declined. Increased law enforcement pressure and changing economic conditions made it harder for mafia families to operate openly. The Milwaukee crime family gradually faded from prominence. But its legacy remains part of the city's hidden history. For decades, the Milwaukee Mafia operated quietly in the shadows of a Midwestern city better known for beer and baseball. Under the leadership of Frank Balistrieri, the organization built a criminal network tied to larger mafia families across the country. Through gambling, loan sharking, and strategic alliances, Milwaukee's mob played a small but significant role in the broader world of American organized crime. A hidden empire that thrived not through chaos, but through discipline, secrecy, and patience. Organized crime in America has always adapted to the times. Families rise, empires fall, and cities that once seemed quiet often reveal unexpected stories beneath the surface. Milwaukee was one of those cities. Thank you for watching this Pizzaverse Studios documentary. For more deep dives into organized crime history, subscribe and follow Pizzaverse Studios and Palermo Productions. This has been Vincent DiPrio, and we'll see you in the next episode. Omaha, Nebraska. A city known for railroads, stockyards, and quiet Midwestern streets along the Missouri River. But for decades, beneath the surface of this peaceful city, an organized crime network operated quietly in the shadows. Unlike the mafia empires of Chicago or New York, Omaha's underworld didn't rely on flashy bosses or violent gang wars. Instead, its power came from something far more dangerous: influence, illegal gambling, and connections that reached deep into the political system. For years, card rooms and betting operations flourished throughout the city. Money moved through underground networks hidden behind legitimate businesses. And many of the people running these operations believed they were untouchable. Because in Omaha, the line between organized crime and local politics was often blurred. But eventually, federal investigators began looking closer. Wiretaps, surveillance, secret informants. The quiet system that had protected Omaha's underworld for decades was about to unravel. And when the truth finally came out, it revealed a hidden criminal empire operating right in the heart of the Midwest. The Omaha Mob. Gambling, politics, and power. A Pieceverse Studios documentary. A Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo.
And I go into that ground. I won't go quietly. I'm bringing my crown. When I go into that ground, oh, they gotta bury me face down. From the rubble, what do I see? There's a whole damn army thinking that they're gonna harm me, saying that I'll never get free. Oh, I got troubles, they won't let me be. But I won't get tired, set the town on fire till my troubles got trouble with me. Thinking that they've won, it's only just begun. When I go into that ground, I won't go quietly. I'm bringing my crown. And when I go into that ground, oh, they gotta bury me face down. Oh, I've been on the run since I was a boy, but now I'm done running, got another thing coming. Watch my enemies get destroyed. Oh, I got troubles of more than one kind, but I never sleep. Gotta bury me 6 feet deep where the sun don't shine. Thinking that they've won, it's only just begun. When I go into that ground, I won't go quietly. I'm bringing my crown. And when I go into that ground, oh, they gotta bury me face down. I've been counted out, left for dead, wanted with a bounty on my head. But somehow, someway, I'ma keep moving along. Been counted out, left for dead, wanted with a bounty on my head. But somehow